All right, folks, I'm going to call this special meeting of the Little Calumet River Basin Development Commission to order for Wednesday, December 3rd, 2025. Please set your phones on stun and let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mrs. Lambert, nice to see you. You call roll, please.
Tom Brzezinski.
Present.
Tom Gosdowski.
Here.
Anthony Broadman.
Here.
Dave Sassalon. Absent. Ron Ware.
Here.
Robert Oshie.
Here.
Ron Whitaker. William Baker.
President, we have a quorum. All right, so a little different in so much as we're going to do it again in a couple of weeks. So let's go on to our first order of business, which is the City of Lake Station, the Central Avenue Stormwater Improvement Watershed Application. Mr. Repay.
Yeah, this application originally came to us in March of this year. They presented their case, they came back, they split it into two smaller projects. You have that, and I've given you the bid results from that bid that came out, I believe it was October. We did a work study session on it twice. So they're asking, they split it up into two projects. They're asking for 80% of the number. They can go down to at least 70 if you so choose. But that's about the extent of their funding capabilities.
Okay, any questions for Mr. Repay on this one? Yes, sir.
What was their engineering spend? No. I didn't.
I don't have the
Approximately, do you know?
400,000.
So this is an interesting one in so much as this is basically doing city, what we would call infrastructure work for the municipality, doing stormwater work. So it's new. Personally, I'm a little challenged in starting to go down that path. But it's a project that's important to the city to do the work and put this in front of us. We've talked about it and went through it. This is the time. So do you have any other questions or comments on it?
If I could just add, Mr. Chairman, the importance of it, why it has to be done today, preferably. They have a 60-day window for their bid that they received that expires on December 20th. So if we're going to go forward with it, they're going to need to know. And if we're not going forward with it, they're going to need to cancel the bids.
I have a question, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
I see in their application that they included this in their comprehensive study for the city. Was this ever presented to us and included in any comprehensive studies that were generated from the commission?
It would be in our comprehensive study that was just done, that was presented at our last meeting in November. So it was in the newest version,
They
yes.
submitted it and included it in their info to us that now is on record.
Yes.
So, Mr. Ware, as it relates to being in the comp plan, when they interview the individual municipalities, and correct me if I'm wrong, Dan, my understanding is that they're just doing that as far as here's our wish list of all the things that need to be done, regardless of how it fits in any other parameters. These are things that we want to see accomplished for that particular municipality based on that interview that went for our comp plan. So that tells me that just because it's on the comp plan anymore doesn't mean that it automatically gets checked off.
Understood.
I have a question, Mr. Repay. Have we ever funded any kind of interior storm sewer projects?
I think the
Of
closest
this magnitude?
not this magnitude, the closest we got to it was, I think Griffith had one, and Levon asked me that same question about, but that was taking an open ditch to a storm sewer as opposed to upgrading an existing storm sewer.
And that,
I think that was Wood Street if
and that project received additional funding from outside of the River Commission, correct?
They got something I want to say was from NERC. Because it's part of a street project as well.
Okay, any other questions? What do y'all want to do?
Mr. Chair, I make a motion to deny the City of Lake Station's watershed application for the Central Avenue stormwater improvements project.
There's a motion to deny. Is there a second?
I'll second.
And a second? Any discussion? I think we talked about that enough. Mrs. Lambert, we got a motion and a second.
Tom Lisinski,
Yes.
Tom Gozdecki,
Yes.
Anthony Brodnix,
yes,
Ron Ware,
No.
Robert Ochi,
Yes.
Levon Whitaker,
No.
William Baker.
Yes. All right, moving right along. Sorry, folks from Lake Station. We'll work on some other projects. Next up is the Lake County Surveyor's Office, the Schoon Ditch Maintenance Project watershed application with a funding request of,
$323,750,
thank you.
which is 50%.
Schoon Ditch is in Munster, right?
That's correct. It runs from, this project's gonna run from Calumet Avenue, running to the east to the confluence with Hart's Ditch. A regulated drain. Once again, they presented as well. Or we presented during the work study session on this as well. And, it's been awarded to Garia. They want to start December 22nd, which once again is why we're here today.
Just for the greater good, just as this is shoring up an existing regulated drain.
Yeah, it's clearing, getting rid of a lot of the leaners, well, all of the vegetation and trees on the south side of the ditch, as well as fixing the riprap and possibly fixing some of the outfalls with the ducktails.
Any questions?
Who maintains it right now?
It's a regulated drain, so technically it's Lake County, but we've gone in there a couple of times, and I know town has gone in there as an as needed basis just to do small items that have gone in there.
Any other questions? All right. You know what to do.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion to approve resolution 2025-15 and interlocal agreement with the Lake County Drainage Board for the Schoon Ditch Maintenance Watershed application in the amount of $323,750 or 50% of the total project, whichever is less, subject to final draft and approval by Executive Director, Chairman, and Attorney.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Be there none. Mrs. Lambert?
Tom Lisinski,
Yes.
Tom Gozdecki,
Yes.
Anthony Brodnix,
no,
Ron Ware,
Yes.
Robert Ochi,
Yes.
Levon Whitaker,
Yes.
William Baker.
Yes. All right, next one up is the town of Cherville, Escata Telemet. How do you say that word, Dan? You went to
Telemetry.
Ball State.
Telemetry.
Telemetry to 3 stormwater facilities watershed application.
I mean, this is adding the SCADA system to the 3 stations that currently don't have it. During their presentation, you heard that they would check it on Friday, and if nothing went wrong, then till the next Friday, that would be the next time they'd check it. So this would be the opportunity for them to mimic what we have, and that is basically everything would go to your phone, be able to tell you if you're running high water or a high temp failure, and be able to address it as opposed to going out to each station. One of them is not their station. They look after it for Lake County, and 2 of them are their stations. I do pretty good. Perfect. Okay, good. Thank you. I'll be on the payroll of town of Cherville soon.
You already are for the whole watershed.
I am.
So, any questions for Mr. Repay on this one?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Are any of these storm stations that we have direct responsibility for?
No, these are all stations probably that go into Cherville Ditch, Dyer Ditch, or Turkey Creek, I'd imagine.
So they're all part of the watershed
It's
system.
not the water
They're
system,
not-
but yeah, they're not ours, and they're not inspected by the Corps.
Right. That's why it's coming in as an application.
The second question, Mr. Chair. I believe we funded something in the town of Munster a few years back, similar for SCADA. Were those pump stations part of our responsibility as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Jackson Street.
Any other questions? Okay. What do you want to do?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to approve resolution 2025-16 and interlocal agreement with the town of Cherville for the SCADA telemetry to 3 stormwater facilities watershed application in the amount of $70,099.50 or 50% of the total project cost, whichever is less, subject to final draft and approval by executive director, chairman, and attorney.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
A second.
You pick somebody, Jody?
Yeah.
All right, we have a motion and a second discussion.
Will we have access to these?
I don't know. Can we have that?
You want access, we'll give you access.
If they're Verizon, we already have a Verizon account, so yeah, it would.
It will be a Verizon account.
So my question is how many other municipalities do not have this technology? Because the conversation we had during the presentation is that there was majority of the municipalities in the watershed have this technology.
That's correct. Most of them have it even for their water system, their drinking water, not necessarily this.
And we don't work on that.
No, we don't.
Okay.
But I think most municipalities that I talk to have it already on their system. I can tell you Hammond's got it. I know Gary's got it. I know Griffith's got it. We have ours. Highland has theirs. So.
Because I mean, it's safe to assume that it's preventative in so much as they're going to see things even before it comes to us.
To me, it's a no-brainer
Right.
to have it. I mean, because I'll tell you what, before I started, they didn't have it on our pump station. So every rain event, you had to go out there to physically
Right.
see they were doing it. And we have
Right.
8 of them.
So could you help me just from the standpoint of confirming with the municipalities within the Little Cal watershed that they all have this type of system? And then let's flag who does not.
We can do that.
Most of them are ours, aren't they, Mr. Chairman?
All of ours have it.
All of ours have it.
Right.
But that all the ditches and all of the pump stations on the ditches that feed into the river is what's in question here.
We'll find that answer out. By the 17th.
So I have a question, Mr. Chairman. I think you just asked the operative question. And to my knowledge, we haven't funded any other municipalities' requests for implementation of SCADA systems, correct?
We did. Munster, we did.
That was part of ours.
That was early on in our tenure here.
But that was
Okay.
on the river. Those were on the
Yeah,
river.
they were right.
Yeah,
Correct.
yeah.
Right. Right. Okay. Very good. Thank you.
All right. Any other discussion? There's a motion and a second. Mrs. Lambert.
Tom Slinsky,
Yes.
Tom Gusdecki,
No.
Anthony Broadnex,
No.
Ron Ware,
Yes.
Robert Ochi,
Yes.
Levon Whitaker,
No.
William Baker.
Yes.
Motion failed.
Motion fails.
Need a further action.
There's 5 of them. Yeah, there's 4. 4-3. That would pass.
You have to have a majority.
You do?
8, 5, 6, 7. Or the attorney happy.
It was 4-3.
It's gotta happen. You gotta have a majority.
5 is action.
5 is action? I thought it was just a simple majority.
So you're saying that because there's somebody's missing, that we have to have 5
It
Oh, a
doesn't
majority
change
of the total.
the majority of your total.
of the total? Copy that. All right, motion fails. How about that? All right, next up is Lake County Parks. McNaughton Development Acquisition Watershed Application. The funding request of $475,000 for 32%. Mr. Repay.
I'm sorry, I can interrupt you. Mr. Chairman, on the Cherville application, the motion fails, so it's left open as an item on your agenda then.
The motion fails. I don't understand.
So you have to make another motion.
To
You either,
continue it or
someone
drop?
who rejected it could turn their mind and say motion to reconsider. And you could vote again, or you have to make a motion to decline it altogether or do something else. There's been no action technically.
So it's an open item on the agenda with nothing, with no
But
action.
you wanna defer it, which is whatever, or like I said, a no vote can make a motion to reconsider.
Okay, so we have an open agenda. I love the public sector. So we need another motion either to defer well, we denied it, so.
So you didn't deny it. There's no affirmative action.
Didn't-
The motion was to approve,
Right.
and that motion failed.
Got it.
So if there is an alternative motion to deny, if there's an alternative motion to table, if there's an alternative motion for a different dollar amount, if there's an alternative motion to amend the application.
Thank you. I have to learn all the clubs I have in my bag here. Motion to reconsider. I never heard
This is a
that.
hybrid.
Did the person that make the original motion have to,
Nope, motion's failed, so you're back on clean slate.
Can I make a motion to modify resolution 2025-16 and the interlocal agreement with the town of Cherville for the SCADA telemetry to the 3 stormwater facilities watershed application, the amount of $50,000, period. Which subject to final draft and approval by the executive director, chairman, and attorney. Is that an acceptable motion?
That is an acceptable motion.
I'll second that.
Motion and a second. So in lieu of, so we have discussion. So my question is, we went from 70 to 50, so it's a dollar amount change.
Yes.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
Yeah, I have a question, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
So I guess this is just a random question for the board here. If we believe in the value of doing this and partnering with the communities that we are tasked to be involved with, we ask them to do applications, and we have generally tried to stay around 50% or so. There are larger applications that come in asking for a greater percentage. And it is usually on communities that maybe don't have the funding or the mechanisms before them to fund a larger amount on their own. This is an item that takes human hands out of harm's way to check the water levels. And we're going to put a price on 3 meters, basically, that divides $20,000. I'm going to vote for this motion, but I'm confused why we would be in favor of at 50 and not at 70. Just my input. I just wanted that out there.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
Yeah, Mr. Chair.
Yeah.
Just my sentiments is that as we sort of surveyed, I wouldn't say audited, but as we kind of surveyed the landscape of what municipalities have it and don't have it, it just seemed like it would have been more prudent to either have had it already or at the city, and I think it's a noble effort, it seems like they would proceed to do it anyway, whether we provided the funds or not. I just think we don't know what other doors, such as stormwater improvements, that we open up doors to in terms of things that we currently fund or don't fund. So I think it's a noble effort, but I just don't know what further door that it opens up.
Well, and then we've always talked about, Levon, about it. Every project stands on its own. And they could always change, but we've always had conversations about precedent before we even had money, knowing full well that this was going to come up. Now, we made the decision at the time that we were going to look at every project individually on its own merit and handle it in that manner. That's still an ideal, but it's a solid one, because if you look at one community wanting certain things that are going to create a precedent, you know there's going to be a lineup for the next 16 communities who are going to want more based on that premise. So we're either managing the premise or trying to make sure those events that happened in 2008 don't happen again. Any other discussion? We have a motion and a second. Mrs. Lambert.
Tom Roslinski,
Yes.
Tom Gozdecki,
Yes.
Anthony Brodniks,
No.
Ron Ware,
Yes.
Robert Ochi,
Yes.
Levon Whitaker,
No.
William Baker.
Yes. How do we do now, Ms. Bennett?
5-2, motion carries.
All right. All right, next up is Lake County Parks, McNaughton Development Acquisition Watershed Application. Funding request of $475K. Mr. Repay.
This was a request as a part of a larger project that they're trying to undertake, which is create green space and parks that is west of, well, it'd be east of the boulevard, west of probably Klein, but we have approved in the past two other purchases. They're requesting 32% or $475,000 for another purchase of several parcels. I mean, we've already done it. I'm discussed.
Thank you. Questions for Mr. Repay on this one? I'm going to start off and going, I'm comfortable with this based upon this yellow book and setting a price for this land out here and setting down the path of continuing to look at buying land and being the front runner and setting the cost of that land. It's not what we're necessarily set up to do. So I got a little bit of a challenge with this one.
Mr. Chairman, what do you mean? What yellow book are you referring to?
Based on the presentation, when I inquired about where the value of the property came from, is that what it's called, Dan? What is that thing called?
I think it's the yellow book, yeah.
I'm
I'm not an appraiser, but that's what they use as far as the guidelines to.
And once you set the precedent, I'm sure the yellow book is going to be modified based on that. So that's just my opinion. Any other discussion?
I have a question and or a comment. So you mentioned, Dan, or Bill, or Mr. Chairman, sorry, that we have already been involved in two other purchases, part of this parcel here that they're looking to develop, correct?
Yeah, it's a large swath of property owned by several different owners.
That we've already been involved with two of them?
We've been involved in two.
And I think that typically, to go back to the percentages when we're asked for funding in applications, this one comes out at 32%, which is probably one of the lowest ones I think that we've seen. And we try to always ask, and I think it's been brought up here once or twice already today with some of these other proposals, who else was involved with the funding? I see 5 or 6 other entities that were involved with this funding. To me, this seems to bring merit. We thought there was enough value in this to be involved with the first 2 other individual items. If that is correct, I don't understand why we wouldn't be involved in this one. I understand the price per acre concern. I think the chairman is getting at. I'm not a real estate agent. I don't know what that stuff is. I'm not a developer looking to develop that down the road either. And I know nobody that's going to build a house in that area that'll jack the price up. I think if we were in for the first 2, we should be in. That's my input here in the discussion.
So I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Mr. Repay, do you have, I know it might not be accessible right now, but this is the headwaters of Turkey Creek.
That's correct.
And I thought that the parcel that we previously purchased just south of Route 30 on the west side of Calumet Park Cemetery or whatever that cemetery is there was the headwaters before this.
Yeah, it's all the parcels are all in the same neighborhood.
And at that area of the watershed, how much can be developed on this parcel that Lake County Parks is looking to purchase?
Yes, it depends on who you ask for, but I mean, there's wetlands. There was a concern that came out of the advisory board that their wetlands were there. There's also concerns that if you bought some of it already, that it sort of makes it undevelopable. But I mean, changes in guidelines and how you deal with wetlands always change. So I don't think there's personally, but I'm not a developer like Commissioner Rare.
At the last meeting, there was talk that this would provide storage, but yet the capacity was undetermined or not calculated. Is there been any further development on how much storage this provides?
I would ask Craig, who's here. I don't know. Craig, do you know any more? I know you said 20 acre feet, then you thought it was a little bit less than that.
Correct. Well, there's 15 acres of wetlands on the 31 acres that would be purchased. So those wetlands, after storm events hold water. The whole site does, because it's kind of an undulating landscape between 77th and 85th. So those areas where you have the depressions in that property, they hold water after storm. So it's safe to say that those 15 acres after storm events hold additional water and slowly release it over time or soaks in the ground. Then beyond that, you've got another 15 acres that's heavily wooded, also with other, I guess, more of a natural feel to it. It's not developed, most of it. So just those large mature hardwood trees soak up a lot of water. I mean, you can go down the street after a half-inch, three-quarter-inch rain might not hit the ground because that tree soaks so much up. So that's got to factor in as well. So, like I said, it wasn't scientific the way it was determined, but I have a good feeling that we're really close to that number as far as how much storage takes place. And then you got to figure.
Thank you. That's perfect. Thank you.
So theoretically, there's a new law that allows people to eliminate wetlands, right? Seems to me that a developer would have a hard time remediating this entire property enough to bring a development to fruition.
Well, the one thing that you have here, though, is most of these wetlands on this property are probably isolated, these 15 acres. A few of those wetlands might be jurisdictional because they're attached to one of the drains that throws through the property and then into Turkey Creek. So I think it's fairly obvious that, I've seen it a lot here in Lake County where you can buy, through the DNR, the payment in lieu program, and you can basically pay to fill in those wetlands or develop them. So, and that program's been used quite a bit. In fact, we're working on a mitigation bank with DNR at Oak Ridge Prairie because they have so much credits they need to find wetlands to actually that have already been, paid for in that payment in lieu program. So, you could buy credits anytime from DNR and they'll let you fill those wetlands in, and those could be filled in. So, the majority.
Any other discussion?
Are the parcels in question contiguous or they
They are,
separate?
they're all contiguous.
So they're all hooked together?
Yep.
So theoretically, we've already broken it up from a massive development, so this is just gonna keep coming, and Craig's gonna keep coming and want to buy more land, and we're gonna be buying more land because this speech is easily replicated. So factor that into the stew pot. All right, any other discussion? What you want to do?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve resolution 2025-17 and the interlocal agreement with Lake County Parks and Recreation for the McNaughton Development Acquisition Watershed application in the amount of $475,000 or 32% of the total project cost, whichever is less, subject to final draft and approval by executive director, chairman, and attorney.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
And a second. Any other discussion? Be there none. Mrs. Lambert?
Tom Rashinsky,
No.
Tom Gazdecki,
No.
Anthony Brodniks,
No.
Ron Ware,
Yes.
Robert Ochi,
Yes.
Levon Whitaker,
No.
William Baker.
No.
Okay.
What's the score, Ms. Bennett?
Open item again.
All right.
By motion carries.
No, it doesn't carry.
No, it was a motion to approve.
I'm sorry, I stand corrected. Motion fails.
All right. Next up is the Lake Count. I'm sorry.
Still need to take action.
Yep.
So we have to, it's still,
Mr. Chairman, I'm gonna make a motion to deny the Lake County Parks and Recreation's McNaughton Development Watershed application.
there's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, any other discussion? Be there none. Mrs. Lambert?
Tom Rashinsky,
Yes.
Tom Gazdecki,
Yes.
Anthony Brodniks,
Yes.
Ron Ware,
No.
Robert Ochi,
No.
Levon Whitaker,
Yes.
William Baker.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-2.
Motion 9, okay. All right. This one's new. All right, Little Calumet Conservation Collaborative Funding Request, Mr. Repay.
Merry Christmas, everyone. This is the request from the collaborative. They've been a partner with us for a few years now. Their initial request was over a 3-year period for the long-term funding of field crews. But knowing what you guys typically do, is you fund it just a year by year and then you ask for basically show me and then you'll reappropriate. So the first amount that they requested was to sustain the existing project that they've done, which is MLK South, the Rookery, and Grant Street, along with doing the mitigation work on the 35 acre site, which is called Black Oak Mitigation, which is the in-project mitigation work off of Chade Street and Clark. And the second part is for the cost of field crews to support the maintenance projects. Actually bringing personnel out there that's for an additional $339,362. So, I mean, I know Commissioner Whitaker and Commissioner Baker have taken a tour of the existing or most of the existing projects. So.
All right. Any comments, discussion on this one? Yes, sir.
Oh,
All right, go ahead. You're on the Zoom.
thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Repay, 350 was the amount for like 2 years, just a few years ago. Is this amount for 2 years or 1 year?
304,409 is for 1 year.
I didn't hear the number. 3 what?
304,409.
Okay. I guess
That's 1 year.
price is going up, inflation, huh?
And they want an
Well, I think if you take
additional
over,
339,362, is that?
Right. You
Right.
mentioned a 339 number a minute ago.
That's for dedicated staff for these locations.
Yes, sir.
And how much money did we provide over the last 3 years on average? About,
Do you know this area right off the top of it? I didn't.
I think over the,
187, 200 apiece.
I think over the past 3 years, it's been about 500,000 altogether.
So-
Or maybe 6. Yeah.
So 200 apiece, 200 a year.
So, one of the requests was to, break it out between the actual field work and the actual personnel, because the personnel is now coming out of Lake County Parks. So this is an ask, and how I read it is to have full-time crew members that are dedicated to this project, but are for all intent and purposes, county employees. So that's where I start running into some challenges, because now we're funding employees with regards to having county employees on our the responsibility, and that's going to be a cost that's going to continue, and it's always going to be more and more and more. So we have to find that common ground, in my opinion, between just continuing to add more, and making sure we maintain what we're trying to do here, which is not have everything be a big Phragmite invasive species field. So this is always going to be a ongoing challenge, but this is coming to a head right in front of us.
Mr. Chairman, I have either a question or suggestion, I suppose. To my knowledge, we didn't get any numbers on this particular one before now, and I know we've had presentations from this group in the past. Would it be okay for them to do a 2 or 3 minute presentation, I guess, explaining some of the things that you just mentioned, so we have a better understanding?
Well, we've done that before, so you're asking, what's your specific question as far as a presentation? You want them to repitch the thing?
Not necessarily a full pitch, but I didn't have the understanding that we would be funding, effectively Lake County employees. And I don't know if, and I don't have any other
It didn't
paper in
start
front
like that until we went back and asked them to recalculate it, because this is my understanding, and how this niche works is that they're trying to get funding avenues.
Audubon Society, right.
So they're going to try to get whatever they can from whomever they can, and use that as a bridge to bring in other funding to, look at all the projects that they're trying to do within the watershed, which is a little more elaborate than what we had initially started, as far as trying to at least start the process of not having all the open spaces growing invasive species.
Clear.
Any other discussions? The other thing is we're not locked into a dollar amount. This is the wish list. So, you know, maybe a total of 200, 300, 500, whatever it is. I mean, that's another option that you have available with regards to this. Because we have all kind of different motion options here, and one of them is to also reset a number.
I don't have the cheat sheet, but that would be my proposed motion. So I don't want to open it because I don't think I would do it correctly.
My number, Mr. Chair, would be 500,000 total.
Over what, 3 years?
Well, this is calendar year, this is October, this is 1 year, October 1st through October 1st, 2025 through September 30th, 2026.
And we've had, so the history of this, I mean, we ramped it up, I mean, obviously, because there's been more acreage put into this. But we're also listening to presentations for things outside of what we originally requested, which is going down that other, you know, path. Do you have a number, at least for the last couple of years? I mean, would it be on Project Tracker?
Project Tracker.
Looking,
We didn't bring
our project tracker.
It feels like it's been about 6 over 3
Right here?
years, like 200,000 a year.
So it's 200 a year, because I don't remember doing
Correct.
500 or 600 a year. That's always been an issue. Why is the number ramping up? Well, because that's what I would ask for more too.
Yeah.
It seems like it's been
So
about
taking
200 a
over the
year.
maintenance and monitoring of a 35-acre Black Oak Army Corps mitigation project. What,
We pay about 70-some thousand, 80-some thousand on that right now for Stan Tech.
all right,
Yes,
so
sir.
that's in addition to so that's, if you take that away, that's roughly 234 or 220,
So-
somewhere between.
So Stan Tech wouldn't be doing that work anymore?
And that's a year by year.
Well, but Stantec is a vendor that would, if they have that capability, I mean, the county doesn't have, well, they do have, they have 5 helicopters, but they're not spraying or doing anything like that. So they're gonna have to go outsource that.
At this point with that site, I don't think that's needed. It's just spot treatment for those areas. It's already in their third plus year of watching it since it's been planted.
And
It's not like it's a full, you're not going into a brand new area.
Yeah,
So that takes it back down to roughly the 200,000 a year, roughly, basically 220. And so they're asking for an addition for the 339 for the crew.
That's an ask.
I mean, I think the question is, you want them to keep maintaining what you got? And then the second question is, do you want to have additional employees?
Expand it.
So I have a question.
Mr. Chair, I'm sorry, go ahead, Mr. Gazdecki.
There is a statement that's made in this letter from Lake County Parks. Craig, you signed it. It says if regarding the NOAA Transformational Habitat Restoration and Coastal Resilience Grant. In there, you reference we have committed, the Little Calumet River Basin Development Commission has committed to provide $500,000 in match support. Where did that come from? You haven't committed $500,000 in any type of match, so why is it in this letter?
Any new projects like the Chase Street or the Hatcher Park?
It says we have committed.
Yeah. I understand, but I'm just saying in additional, we would have to come before you to do that.
But we haven't committed anything to my knowledge.
Correct. Not dollars.
So I'm confused by the statement.
Greg could answer for his letter.
I assume we were talking about funds that you've already committed from years past to crew work, which came out to probably about that number. So over the last 5-6 years or more.
I can shed light on that statement because we worked with Craig to help draft that letter, but
I guess I'm just confused by the
Yeah.
verbiage here.
so that was, I think, in reference to a letter of support provided by the commission for that funding opportunity, which referenced an opportunity to provide up to that dollar amount in match, but it's not, we're not assuming that that's provided.
it's historical then.
It would be in the future. We would approach you for that amount if we receive that funding award through NOAA, which is for geez, I think over $2 million if we get that ring award.
It says we committed money.
Is the NOAA funding contingent on that match or?
Yeah, no, so the proposal before you all today is not, those other referenced funding pots are not, request. I will say that actually one of those requests that's referenced, the National Coastal Resilience Fund request, we actually were just approved for that 2 days ago. So we received $800,000 from the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation to bring towards that Chase Street Complex project. So we are still bringing in dollar money.
Mr. Chairman, I may have missed some meetings. When was the last time a presentation was done regarding Little Cow Conservation Collaborative? Because I don't remember one in like a year.
August or September.
Right.
Okay, I'm sure I missed that meeting.
Oh.
Were these numbers presented then?
I would say, yeah, they were. I'd have to
I
listen
would
to
assume.
it.
No, that's fair. I can go back and listen to it. You're right.
All right.
All right, any other discussion? What do you want to do?
I'm going to try, Mr. Chairman. I move to table the request for the Little Calumet Conservation Collaborative funding request for, help me with the number, 339,000. Dan, can you help me with the rest of the number?
What number are you looking for? I'm sorry.
I think you said 339.
Yeah, you're just making a motion to table, aren't you?
Yes, but I just want to make sure it's all correctly done. So 339,000, whatever.
Make a motion to table.
If you want a motion table, just make a motion to table. You don't have to put the numbers in.
Okay, I make a motion to table the Little Cow Conservation Collaborative funding request.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
And a second. Any other discussion? So I have a question, Ms. Bennett. I mean, help me with this public sector between table and reconsider. I mean, I'm sure they all have different meanings in this world.
By the motion to table, it would be reset to the next meeting for consideration.
So this is moving it for 2 weeks.
Yes. Your next regular meeting, yes.
Okay. And then,
Table it then too, right?
You could. You could deny it or you could accept it. You can do whatever you want. You just have to act on it.
right. Okay, so there's still a motion to table in the second. Any other discussion? Motion to table, Mrs. Lambert.
Tom Slinsky,
Yes.
Tom Gozdecki,
Yes.
Anthony Brodniks,
Yes.
Ron Ware,
Yes.
Robert Ochi,
Yes.
Levon Whitaker,
Yes.
William Baker.
No. You're just kicking it down the road. What are you doing? All right, so,
Anthony, Meehan.
next up is the authorization to advertise for bids on the Optimist Lake Improvement Project.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to authorize the executive director to advertise the bids on the Optimist Lake Improvements Project.
There's a motion out of the chute. Is there a second?
Second.
And all kind of seconds. Any discussion? This is just to go out for bids and see how much this thing's gonna cost to build it in the lake. Any other discussion? We have a motion and a second. Mrs. Lambert.
Slinsky,
Yes.
Tom Gozdecki,
Yes.
Anthony Brodniks,
Yes.
Ron Ware,
Yes.
Robert Ochi,
Yes.
Levon Whitaker,
Abstain.
William Baker.
Yes. All right. Go out to bid. Next meeting is tomorrow. No, I'm kidding. Next meeting is Wednesday, December 17th. It'll be here. Look forward to seeing you all then. We'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
A second.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hey. Thank you for coming out.